Good morning, everybody. I just want to talk about a few random things here. This is Fomalhaut here this morning on Stellarium, or Thalum. I was talking with one of my subs, and he was talking about the Nephilim. It has that A-L-I-M. Kind of reminded me of the Elohim, the H actually being a silent thing. TH comes from the Greek. It means God. You have theology. We've talked about this. I've done a lot of videos on the being the name of God, because it's an article in language structure, and in every language, the ends up being God, like El. El is the. Allah. Allah is the. Al is the. It's like the. So that TH has always been God. It is, listen to me, it is also the symbol of Saturn. That TH. And Thalum here has a ring around it. Far more prominent than Saturn's. It's quite spectacular, actually. But the Nephilim, or the Nephilim, would be the sons of God that appear in Libra when that comes around. And we'll talk about that too. When we talk about Aquarius being God, or the Son of God, he's King of Kings. He comes in on a white horse. There's Pegasus, okay? And so he's Thalum on Pegasus. He walks on the water of Pisces. He comes in on the horse. He's the King of Kings in the sky. He baptizes you with the Holy Ghost. This is the sign of air. He has rivers of living water. I can't say enough about, check this one out. When they lift me up, I will draw all men unto me. When I am lifted up, I will draw all men unto me. In a tracing board, it does not face north, it faces east. And that is lifted up. And now, as you see, Fomalhaut is being lifted up into the eastern sky in the springtime. And that is the Most High in the galactic wheel. You reach it's the pinnacle. You reach your kind of shaboom apex at the summer solstice, and then you're in decline after that. But this is like spring, new life, new birth. But if I be lifted up, I will draw all men unto me. This is really going to happen, people. Another funny thing, the Bible, the Old Testament, is based on this fire god over here. The Bible's got really several different gods talking, but the main story is about this dude over here. And his story starts, he has a statue, and he's the head of that statue. And then it goes this way. It goes head, like throat, chest, to where the sun is over here in the solar plexus, and Scorpio is at the genitals, and that's Western astrology, and that's what everybody goes by. But the real story in the sky starts right here at the first and the last, the Alpha and the Omega, and it goes this way. It's hidden. It's reversed. Hadn't you felt like this world is backwards or upside down? Or it's like this guy over here is telling us the story, but he's telling it to us in reverse. He's telling us the end from the beginning. I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say here, really, but that's what's going on. There's more than one story going on here. There's a lot of stories going on here. All the cultures, the Greeks. Here's Pegasus. Here's Medusa and Perseus. You have the twins. You have Cassiopeia. You have Hercules, his Ophiuchus. You have all of these great Greek tragedies that are in turn astrology. And these are considered the upper houses. Maybe this is where the sun rose in those ages, which would make Greek a lot older than what they're saying. But that's just speculatory there. I can't confirm that, but I can confirm, like, this laurel leaf right here. That always belongs to the Caesars. Here's your peacock feathers they're so fond of. All of it's here. You even got the freaking unicorn. So when any time you see a unicorn, and there we go, it's always talking about Gemini. It's the lower house of Gemini, if that makes any sense. You have the band that the sun travels in, the zodiac, but then there are houses above and houses below. Below is the abyss, and then you have the double abyss, which is below on the dark side of the zodiac. And that's where you find the serpents. But it's a very interesting tale. I do believe I've got a lot of it deciphered, at least enough to make it coherent, that I can prove the Bible, Old and New Testament, are astrology books, period, 100%. It's got some of man's input. I find it very fascinating. You can tell when they're done, which is older, by the way they use the constellations, because they went out of their way to hide this serpent over here and this pit I've been talking about forever. And this would be the Nephilim right here in the garden, which is a turtle or an eagle. So depending on who you're talking to, you know how old their information is. Now, the Native Americans had the turtle. No damn wonder the Pope and the Europeans slaughtered them to no end. They had to get rid of that turtle. No, they can't let you know that the great turtle came up out of the waters. But all of these stories, they confirm each other through the different cultures. Well, today's a little interesting day, isn't it? We'll have Mars and Mercury conjunction, and both of them look to be combust of the sun, really. Alright, just a few things I wanted to throw out there. I'm going to do a longer version of this, and I'm going to go through constellation by constellation, citing what element belongs to it, the names of the stars, and the Bible verses that refer to that constellation. But it makes perfect sense. Everything in the New Testament starts with this guy, and the story goes this way, which the sun appears to go this way, the calendar, but it goes retrograde backwards against the night sky. So the true story is from left to right, when the one they're telling is from right to left, which is Hebrew, Arabic, those, and they write in fire languages, right? We talked about this before, about Arabic being a fire language, Greek being, the block language, very masculine language, but Hebrew is kind of an in-between. it's like a jump point between the two languages, but it still writes in the same direction as the Arabic does. And we've talked about that before too, because when you get to Jerusalem, all of the languages on east write from right to left, and all the languages west write from left to right, except for Etruscan, which writes as the ox plows, as the ox plows back and forth, which is another key, because that's the key to Egyptian. The Egyptian was the ox. They wrote the way the ox plowed. So if you really wanted to read the zodiac or hieroglyphics, you would go as the ox plowed, back and forth. They don't do a line, turn around, drag the plow over here, and just rake in one way or plow in one direction. They go back and forth. And that's kind of how this story goes between these two. And we're the fish stuck in the middle. These fish is with this guy, and these fish is with this guy. These fish, Pegasus is there to get them, right? He's the winged horse that the hero rides. Remember those tales? You got to go back and watch them all, and watch them with starry eyes, and start catching on to, like when you see fire, you know it's these gods, these fire gods. And if the wind blows, or if it's water, or the sky, or it's just any word you can use, the adjective that describes these, and you'll know who's dealing with who. So very, very interesting. It's where all of the Hollywood movies come from, all books that are written, all the big epics, all the religions, all the languages, all the math, geometry, you just name it, philosophy, everything comes from the heavens. And now we're starting to understand that. And what is that going to do for us? Jesus said the truth will set you free. You're no longer under the bounds and bonds of this jealous God back here, or this lying, crap, deceiving abyss of what Pisces has done to humanity. But we get to be free from all of that. No more burdens. The burden is gone. O death, where is thy sting? Those are not our gods. This is the King of Kings right here. All right, people. You know what to do. Remember to commit that random act of kindness every day. Because you know what? Let me tell you something about this age. In the Bible it tells you, over in this age was judgment. You had to follow the law. But this age was grace. Okay? This age is about works. In this age, your works will follow you. And that's not in the eyes of man. That you're going to get exactly what you deserve. All right. Love you all.